we on the same page, right? You flipped out and then came and attacked us.
You find one of those stairwells very much abandoned. You're seeing old residences.
We want to go invisible.
Didn't realize that was an option. That could have been very handy for many things.
Go invisible!
Right now.
Okay, there we go.
Something is putting its head up. It definitely heard you yelling at him about going invisible.
Go invisible!
You can see it puts its eye right up to the door, and when you get that close, you can tell that it is a dragon. It's a young dragon.
Nice to meet you. We shall be going now.
Okay.
We could go that way and send him out the back passage. Phrasing. Yeah, I want to find dragon things.
Good to know. And yeah, he opens the book and he goes, "Look what I found!" I was going in the back of the room and he starts opening up.
Yeah, very dusty, but you managed to read from this book. It is quite quickly apparent that it is not. It's probably why it got left behind or abandoned when people left. It's kind of a bit of a dry, just manual essentially. It's almost got blueprints in it of renovation plans. It's like somebody's just plans for what they're going to be doing. And in reading it, you can tell that they are talking about the renovation plans of upgrading the nesting rooms for each of the clans in High City. And it says, near the beginning of the book, it says, or the beginning of the manual, I suppose, it says, must encourage the Dragon Lords to bring their eggs to be blessed by the power of the ancestral home.
Whoa.
And blessed by the power of the ancestral home is kind of in quotation marks. And then reading in, you find that there are specific plans. There are specific plans for how to renovate and upgrade the nesting rooms of the High City.
So blessed by the ancestral what?
The ancestral home. Blessed by the power of the ancestral
Can we
home.
see? I mean, I wouldn't, but like, don't worry then.
You can say it.
I was going to say, do we see what the adjustments they want to make?
Because I'm reading it and relaying
I wasn't secretive between the two of us. I came back into the room.
Yeah, you can see that there's adjustments of expanding out certain. They're adapting certain halls that were just used for meetings, like meeting halls, in each of the 5 different areas, and deliberately dedicating them to a nest. So it seems like from the renovation plans you're looking at, before whatever was done, however old this is, before those renovations were done, the Dragon Lords would not bring their eggs when they came in to do meetings at Stormscar. When the 5 clans would periodically do their diplomacy missions, they would leave their eggs at home, because why would you bring them? But with the addition of these nests in the 5 different clans' areas, they're encouraging them to treat Stormscar more like a home away from home when they come to these diplomacy missions.
Mountain House.
Sorry?
The Beach Patch Mountain
Yeah,
House.
the Beach Patch Mountain House under the storm.
What'd you say? Sorry, blessed by what?
Blessed by the power of the ancestral home. And that's in quotation marks. And so it seems like their intent with renovation is to try and encourage Dragon Lords to bring their eggs to this
It's
home.
like check that they're not like hybrids or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A cleansing thing.
So whoever was doing these renovations, which it seems was put to the people of Low City, which implies that they were working class dragons and stuff that were doing the renovations, maybe even hybrids and such. They were the ones who were doing the renovations, and they were deliberately trying to encourage the Dragon Lords. Hey, treat this like an actual vacation home when you come for these diplomacy missions. Stay for a while. Bring your kids. Bring your unborn eggs and have them nested.
Unborn eggs for no reason. Just put them in this nest room. It's totally sweet.
The power of the ancestral dragons will like bless them or something.
Don't worry about it.
As a Drasamir, do you like know of that? Of the power of the ancestral home?
No, I've never heard of anything like that.
Because again, the knowledge of dragons back in the human kingdoms is pretty scarce. Like it's like, you know, there were dragons around, and everyone's like, dragons are scary. You know, there's gold ones and red ones, and they go.
And about 19 years ago, they went, oh, one of the dragons killed all the other dragons. Cool, now there's no dragons, and that's all they know about dragons.
Pretty much.
After we've been reading this book, Nez turns to Ruthmore and goes, "Look, I ain't stupid. I know that you're finding out more about yourself and there might be more to this mission than meets the eye. I'm not a cruel guy. I'm not gonna go killing dragons.
Rasmon just cocks his eyebrow and goes, huh?
We need to make this trip worth a while, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I need to know that when push comes to shove, you can help me make this worth a while. But I ain't gonna be going against you, Raz. I'm gonna help you.
I don't want to go against you either.
Good to know.
Talia is sitting in the corner, and I think she takes a moment to look at the stone, probably.
Ooh.
Nothing seems to have changed about it. It seems as drawing as it ever has. It feels like it's got secrets that you have yet to unlock within it, and you feel that draw of like, God, I love secrets.
I can trust, you can trust me, Raz, as long as I know you can trust me. Sorry, I'm saying the exact same thing. You can trust me, Raz, as long as I can trust you. You can open up to me about anything.
Can Talia,
Interesting.
not as a part of these two and with no intention to relay their things to each other, can she check to see what their intentions are?
Intentions are, yeah, with the power of the stone. This is, I'm going to let you know, you are leaning into the powers that the stone gives you.
Yeah, I don't even think she consciously does it, but once it starts, it's hard to stop. So I think she's holding it and they're having this conversation.
Yeah, give me an insight check with advantage.
8 plus
With
1.
advantage.
Sorry, always forget 4, so 5.
8. So
With advantage.
Oh,
with advantage was the 8.
I'm not even here.
8 plus 1.
I'm not even here.
I'm plus 1, so it would have been.
I think at this point you're not able to read anything more than the surface level secrets that they have, which at this level of knowing them isn't really even secrets. Like they're kind of laying it out there that he's here for dragons and he's here to learn more about himself. And
Cool.
there's nothing deeper, more fundamental secrets that you gather with a 9.
During this, I'm in another corner with I set myself up, take my little helm off, and I'm drawing in my journal, scribbling away. And I just want to make a performance check on how well I'm drawing.
Sure, yeah, give me one.
How well my art is.
Oh no.
It's an 8 plus 8, so 16.
Oh, no.
16's pretty good, and you're using the painting supplies that you tinkered up for.
Yeah, it's like watercolor on the kind of that parchmenty thing.
Yeah.
So when you touch it, it kind of
For
like
you,
an inky look.
For you, below average, you're like critical of it because it's an 8 rather than a 10 average, so you know that it's not your best work.
Yeah, I do one half of drawing and then I pull it out and I scribble and I throw it on the thing. I start again.
It's, for an outside objective eye, 16 out of 20 is like, oh, that's a really good job. So they'd be like,
and I'm vaguely aware.
4 off 20.
Yeah.
I don't think I hear these guys, but I'm aware that there's like, you know, when a kid is like, the parents are fighting or something like that. It's kind of that thing, like she's aware that he's talking to him and she's listening and dynamics are pinging in her head a bit.
Yeah, and I think Naz and I are both just like, it's just that uneasy truce kind of thing. We were like,
Until a path diverges.
he's like, you trust me? It's like, yes. Good, we both trust each other. Good.
Like, it is getting really fucking tense in here. I mean, like, Raz is talking with Talia and doing little secret conversations. I'm pretty sure that he does not want to help me steal eggs.
I can tell that Naz and I, our interests no longer align.
I don't know if she's on my side, like we made an alliance.
Yeah, I've noticed tension around the camp. Naz and Raz won't stop f***ing going on at each other about shit.
I'm a bit worried for my 2 dads. And actually, I don't want to disclose anything to you. I don't know you.
I think he's gonna try and vote me off the island.
If I had the little pen to write the vote right now, I'd be voting for Raz. Because Jesus fucking Christ, he's pissing me off.
But I have the immunity idol. He's fucked.
who would have been your, because I don't feel like La Luna, she's your academia tutor. I don't think she was your art tutor or like creativity. So I think there's a different tutor that teaches you things like poetry, music, all of the things that a princess is expected to do. Yeah. So who would have been teaching you art?
Yeah. Are there many other like non-humans in the?
Yeah, there's quite a few. In Gurdon, it's Gurdon's a real melting pot. You can find the really rare races, like we've said about Dragonborn and stuff, even and like some more devilish like tieflings and stuff, Asimars. But the majority of people in Gurdon would be humans, elves, a couple of dwarves. gnomes, maybe some halflings, I think, stuff like that. A couple of Goliath, maybe from time to time.
Yes. Maybe then, like truly an old, like a really old dwarf, maybe, like long, kind of like spindly, like the longest mustache beard, you know, and he's very delicate and kind of this kind of thing, and quiet and like.
Would he have a particular title? Is he master or mister or
Maester?
Maester?
Oh yeah, a bit like big robes.
Maester,
Like
yeah.
Maester, what's his name?
Maester. Names are my hardest thing. Willow.
Maester Willow. And I feel like, I mean, you can help me as well, but I feel like he's somewhat of a juxtaposition to Laluna's strict, like, no-nonsense thing, and he's much more, like, encouraging and enjoying.
He's got lots of liver spots, you know.
I think we, as you're sort of being hard on yourself, he's like, I said it before. I've said it before, Celine. I think you didn't start calling yourself Sut until you left, right?
Yeah.
So you say, Celine. He says, "I've said it before, Celine. I think you're pressing too hard. It's the line work that's really throwing you."
I know, but I've got to be good at something.
Well, look at this, and he with a little brush, he just kind of brushes up. Look how much charcoal there is there. And look at this, and he goes over and he brushes the same amount from underneath the easel of your sister, and he's like, "Look at the difference here. She's not wasting most of it by crushing bits. Like there's whole chunks of charcoal that's coming off your stick there. You're just digging into the page."
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not good at anything.
No, hey! I never said that. I never said it wasn't even good. This is a good piece of art. I'm just saying that if for what you're trying to work on at the moment, this is a different style. And that's
I look over at my sister, who's done like a beautiful pond scene with like ducks and things like that.
This is a choice. You have to be able to understand the different arts in order to appreciate all of them. And this is brilliant. This is just not what we're doing in class today. So a little lighter. Start again. And he takes the thing off. And I think you, like in that moment, you're like, oh, he's taken it off and he's destroyed that because it's shit. But the audience kind of sees that he takes it off and he carefully sort of folds it and puts it behind he like opens up a drawer that's like Celine and he keeps your art in there and he slides that shut because he is keeping them. He's proud of what you're doing, he's trying to teach you a specific style that you're not getting and forces you to start again. And then we back into the moment as you're tearing off more pieces of yourself and be like, that's not good enough. What is it that you're drawing in your journal? Is it the dragons you've been meeting or?
No, it's Talia.
It's Talia. You're drawing Talia.
Right.
Very good.
Nice. She's like, what are you drawing, Sir?
Nothing. I grab the piece of paper that I'm already screwed up and put it in my pocket.
While we're kind of in book reading, we're like, hey, that's right, I got those bloody pages from the Dark Spire, and opens it up in view of everyone and starts having a look at those.
Sure thing. All right, so you grab these from the archives of the Dark Spire. In terms of what you've grabbed, it's essentially like dossiers of documents about all sorts of things. It might be to do with their inventory of the sort of things that they've got on hand. It might be to do with like past missions that they've done, or it might be to do with the different sects that they've set up around the world. Is there any particular information that you would want? And I'll decide what you might have grabbed.
Any other bases that they have in the Darklands that might have teleportation magic?
Yes, in that case, yes, you definitely notice that there is a section, a dossier you've grabbed on the different sects of the Darklands.
One ideally close to Stormstar.
Flicking through them, you can see that there is a base of operations. The Dark Spire was the one that was set up initially and has been added to over the years and has become its main headquarters. But the secondary base of operations of this continent would be in Svartholm, which unfortunately is quite a way away. Yeah. You notice that through flicking through these things, there's a couple other places that it says it's describing areas that were set up and were like populated by a decent chunk of Eclipse cultists until they, as nature of having a settlement that is run by people whose brain you've broken deliberately and turn to the Dark Lords, they end up turning on each other, or the settlement, the civilization, the infrastructure kind of collapses in on itself. One of them starts worshipping whichever one she was just losing herself to, and starts going like murder spree and kills the others because he's worshipping the Dark Lords. And it doesn't tend to work out well for them that like settlements actually stay for too long in the Darklands, especially. They do have outposts near the moor where they send people on like pilgrimages to be like, let's get closer and closer to the ultimate madness of the Cthulhu-esque beyond. There is, let's give it a percentile check of how close there is, like what the chances are that there is one relatively close to Stormscar. Unfortunately, there's not one that's close. It would be like maybe a day's journey south of Stormscar. So possible to get to, but dangerous still.
In case you didn't know, we have our live D&D show, Adventurers of Azerim, starting very soon, or as I like to call it, Buried in the Dickheads. That's what everyone calls it. Come on, Buried in the Dickheads. If you want to see it, get your tickets now. Don't miss out. They're at vldl.live. I don't know what to tell you. Don't miss it. It's going to be at several locations in New Zealand and Australia, so just get your tickets. Hurry up.
I mean, a lot closer than Svartholm or the Dark Spire.
All right. Anything else that you're doing for the downtime before you sleep? Okay.
I just at some point not pull Talia aside. At some point when they're both alone, Naz comes up to Talia and just kind of sits down and kicks his feet up. And I'm getting nothing from Raz.
Yeah, he's a hard nut to crack.
He's that book is closing.
Yeah.
It looks like we're on the same path at the moment, but that path may diverge later on. Diverge. No, I got it and then lost it.
Might branch off.
Change.
It's gonna change.
Porky pig.
We need to keep an eye on him.
You think that he would turn against you?
I don't think so, and I don't want to turn against him either. But you know, there might be a choice later on. This accent today is just gone.
He forgot his.
What's that? Yeah, and then he forgot his. Yeah. Look, I don't think he's gonna do anything bad to us, anything rash, but we just need to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Help him come out of his shell a little bit.
Sure.
And then Naz, I mean, things go quiet for a bit as conversations kind of do, and then he starts up a conversation. Hey, remember that time back in Gerdon when, and some story about the two of us when Talia went off and did a fucking stellar job, essentially.
Killed some people.
Essentially, just tell a story where she was incredibly impressive, something just to stroke her ego a little bit. And,
I think Razmorn also at some point, again, whilst they're setting up fires, etc., just kind of looks at Talia and goes, "Are you okay?"
Ooh. Naz didn't last that, did he? Ooh.
he did, to be fair, he did actually
retroactively,
win.
he's like...
No, not in that moment when she was flipping out.
True, yeah. Ooh. Divisions. I'm okay. Yeah.
Before, when you lost yourself, that's what I felt.
It's the closer we are to where we are, it's the stronger it feels.
And that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
He just kind of nods and then goes and sits
Little by
the
little,
fire.
you find yourself a little nook that's relatively comfortable. There's still kind of the bedding, as it were, of the old abandoned nest of whichever dragon lived in this abode. The more biodegradable stuff's long since gone, but there's still some of the softer materials that they would have used. You find yourselves with bedrolls or whatever, going to sleep.
Long rest.
With an alert little thing on the door just in case. Everybody, you can have a long rest.
Yay!
Talia.
Can we
Oh,
also
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Here we go.
You are almost pleasantly surprised that this is. You feel like there's a realization that, in the same way that you get in a lucid dream when you realize you're dreaming, there's a realization very early that you're dreaming, but you're also pleasantly encouraged by the fact that it doesn't seem like one of the usual nightmares, because you're not in surrounding of stonework, you're not in a laboratory, you're not in a cave underground. And as you reach out your hand, you notice that it is a humanoid hand. It's this beautiful pale sort of pallid skin. Pallid's not the right word, because that's like sickly, isn't it? Just a pale light skin as you reach out your hand, and you're reaching for a door. You see that there's a door, regular human looking house. You reach for the handle. You notice that your hand is being illuminated by moonlight, and you realize that it's sort of middle of the night as you reach for this door. And as you open it very carefully and then push it forwards, you realize that you're sneaking into an abode that's not yours, something you've done many times before. And as you push the door open, you hear that the door creaks like stone against stone, which it shouldn't for what it's made of. But there's this sliding of stonework, and then your imagination shifts the image around you, and once again you've got a dark black scaled hand that is grabbing a stone slab and moving it to the side. And almost like you're watching two different visions, one in each eye, that are overlaying, you're pushing inside of this room very carefully as this stonework slab gets pushed to the side. On the inside, from the one perspective, you see just a regular lived-in home. Seems like a suburban house, humans living in there, shoes by the door, and paintings of the family on the wall. It seems like a young couple, maybe it was their wedding day, hand-painted situation. In the other perspective, you see this large nesting room, huge nest full of dragon eggs, red dragon eggs that are scaled and hot. You can feel the heat in this room is very intense. In the one perspective, you've moved down the hallway and you've entered into a bedroom, and you see that there is the sleeping couple. You recognize them from the photo on the wall, and you are being very quiet. You notice that you can't hear your own footsteps even. And in the other perspective, at the same time, you see this huge red dragon, kind of like a wet nurse of sorts, that is incubating these eggs wrapped around it very carefully. In the one image, the one perspective, you see yourself approaching a cot, and there's a small baby in this cot. And in the other, you approach in the other perspective, you're approaching the eggs and reaching out your dragon-clawed hands very carefully, looking at the dragon that's sleeping, and reaching to pick up the egg. And as you pick up the egg, a good 30, 40, 50 centimeters in length, probably like 40 kilograms in weight. It's very dense and very heavy. The heat from it is intense, but you push through. You know that it's what you're doing is worth it. And in the other perspective, you're picking up the baby. And in both perspectives, you see them kind of take this creature, this newborn, this egg, and sort of turn away. But in the first perspective, you also see the overlay that this baby is manipulated in some way by this magic that you have. And you can see this like white streak just appear in its hair.
I got chills.
As you calmly and carefully look at the parents and place the baby back in the cot, you reach up and pluck a hair from your head and just wrap it carefully around the baby's neck.
The heck?
What the heck?
You are the hag.
As you turn
POV,
both
you're a
perspectives, both perspectives, you see the one of you with the egg heads back into this secret door that was otherwise flush with the entire nesting room wall. You see that it's closing behind you, and in the first perspective, you walk out of the room and you pass by a mirror in the hallway, and you catch a glimpse of yourself as this beautiful, incredibly chiseled cheekbones, this elf that's even beyond elf in its proportions, these impossibly beautiful woman with this long blonde hair and a small crow's foot tattoo.
You are destined for greatness.
And as you pass her by and leave the house, sort of smiling to yourself, you close the door. I'll have you make a wisdom saving throw as you wake up in the morning, please.
Crow's foot
15 plus 16.
Okay.
Not plus 2.
Jesus, that's a hell of a wisdom saving throw.
It gets better every day. So, you do not succumb to any further effects of your cursed stone in the morning. It is.
You don't know any of this.
What? No. Now I'm about to put a box around it and go, don't know this.
Very good. Goodness. Things I know, things I don't. You wake up in the morning having felt. Well, that was different.
Wow. Okay.
In an X-rated version of this, it went a little different. It went something more like this. That's how changelings are born. Deal with it, it's hag shit.
It is now also your birthday.
Yeah.
Having woken up on the 8th of May, you look down at your amulet. You notice that the braid is different because the 28 hairs had to be braided in a particular way. Now there are 29, which you now remember as well. Oh, it's a prime number. Every time you age up to a prime number in years, your amulet gives you new abilities.
Let's go. I just need to process that blonde hair. Okay.
Also, as you wake up, there's a little mechanical box sitting next to your
What'd you guys get me?
And a scroll, a little tattered painting scroll rolled up at the foot of your bed.
And on the top, there's a little red button on the top of the box as well.
It's my birthday, guys.
I'm not. Naz is not nearby. It's just.
You guys remembered. That's she would take the trinket and she would be the box and she would push on the top.
And it goes, and then unfolds itself, I guess.
Yeah.
And in the middle is a particular. We haven't created this, but there's coins that Naz gives to people he trusts most. And Talia's never got one up until this point, and it's maybe it's got particular scratchings in it or particular insignia, and really the only people that have are probably JC and JC and Lenny, but.
Love you, Lenny.
Lenny.
Gone too soon.
Gone too soon.
So something you will have seen a lot, like whether or not Lenny and JC will have flaunted them.
She would hold on to it in disbelief, I think. She would be. She never really thought that she would, get one of these.
I think the first time you saw one was when you pickpocketed JC, just to kind of with her, because that's the relationship you had. Not even then, I think like a year or two after that, because she already gave you kind of an admonishment of like, we don't steal from each other. And I think you would steal just petty stuff from her deliberately just to wind her up, because that's kind of you got. And at one point, she normally like rolls her eyes, slap you on the wrist sort of thing. At one point you stole this thing from her, not knowing the importance of it, and she lost her mind at you. Like you realised at that point, I pushed that too far. Yeah. And I think that's since that moment you've been like, those things are important.
Wow. Thank you, Naz.
I don't think Naz is anywhere nearby.
I'll tell him later. In my pocket. And I'll undo the scroll.
I think you can say it later, but yeah.
The scroll's like torn from a notebook, so one side's all jagged, and it's just it's kind of like your profile, I guess, in a kind of moment where maybe the moment where you were standing on top of the rock, like looking out over things by yourself. Yeah. And it's very simple. It's like watercolor-esque sort of thing, and it's like your long hair kind of flows with the streak, and you're just taking a moment. And at the bottom, it's just got soot, kind of, and then like it's like almost like she smudged her own name. I'm just kind of mad at it.
Oh my God. She would say, wow, this is incredible. I'll have to...
No, it's stupid.
No, it's great. The line work is very impressive.
It could be better.
I'm going to frame it.
No, don't frame it. It's just dumb. It's dumb. Just throw it away.
Nothing on my walls, but I'll make an exception for this one. Thank you.
I just go, well done, Soot.
And I'll roll it up.
And then I just look at Talia and go, happy born day.
I expected it as much.
Naz comes toddling back in going, hey, you're awake, sleepyhead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the gift.
And Naz just kind of like in that way that you kind of don't want to acknowledge giving a gift to someone who goes, hey, not a problem.
Yeah. Let me just finish writing down my dream really quick.
Just got a lot going
I got
on.
my dream journal.
I've sent you the new thing that your necklace does, and the rest of you will find out when we get into a fight. So remind me.
It exudes a stench of rotten milk. Overpowering.
Naz just kind of comes up quietly, not wanting to draw attention to a gift that is given. Just goes, "You just leave it," and just wanders away again.
So in the morning, you've got your gifts given to you. You've acknowledged your birthday.
And my happy birthday.
I said happy birthday.
No, I appreciate it. But I was more from you. It means a lot.
Naz does seem a little like less chipper less big old grin and wild smile as he usually is, and he kind of walks over to Soot and goes, "Hey, Soot!
Yeah?
You know that prismatic dragon we saw in the cell?
Yeah.
Could you do a little drawing of him for me?"
Sure, I didn't really see much of his colors, but I can draw like a black and white sketch.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be nice.
Yeah, but if it's not good, then I can throw it away, right?
I mean, even if it's not good, I'd still like it.
Okay.
You're doing it now.
Whether or not you do it now, that's up to you.
Do you like start it immediately, or does like awkwardly, like everybody else is getting ready to go, and you're like drawing?
I think I like start, and then I realize everyone's kind of looking at them.
I'll do it later. Do it later. All right. So you set off. What's your intent? Where are you going?
I guess we're going back down to the
Back to the future.
back to the future, back down to the doctor's thing in the sub-city. Okay, what do we think? Where are we going?
I vote we go to lab.
I think we should go to the lab as well. That's my opinion.
What if we went upward?
What? No, if we go up, then we have to come down again.
But if we go down and then we don't go up, then we'll have to go down to go up again. So
We already down.
Closer to down. I want us to go up as well, but right now the only lead we have is lab.
We go down, then up.
There's leads upstairs, and I think that if we don't go up, we'll regret.
There's
going
also
up.
a lot of dragons upstairs.
Well, so what do you think?
I side with Talia.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think, don't get me wrong, we are going to go up, but if we go up, we might not have time to go back down again.
Like,
and if
I
we
think-
go down, then we will still have time to go
Exactly. We're going down, and an earlier round.
I've got an idea.
What?
What if we go sideways?
Okay.
This is the 8th now, isn't it? Yeah, so we've got this whole day.
Do we have to do invisibility again? Or
To do what, sorry?
I don't know if we need. I don't know. And because there were other staircases and things, right?
There would be other ways down if you wanted.
I mean, I think
It's like
we
we
know
go to
that. We know
Like you're in a basically the entirety of this colossal mountain is in some capacity hollowed out. Like it's been over thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The dragons have carved out cities for themselves, and so it's levels of streets and tunnels and houses and residences and sewage systems and all sorts of stuff.
Well, I think that.
Easy to get lost if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, I think Rasmon just like. I think we go back to prison. That seemed like a not safe, but it seemed like it was going to be leading to doctor and to lab.
I
which
agree.
I think will be helpful.
So you start heading back in the direction, retracing your steps.
I wonder if we need to invisibility ourselves again.
The ball is not today, right?
That's right.
No, tomorrow.
So we've got a free day.
A free day to go and investigate a mad scientist.
Yeah.
And then masquerade ball.
What's our plan
To celebrate.
with the doctor? Are we gonna
think we
free
should go.
something or?
Have a look.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know?
It sounds scary.
We think we should go and have a look.
Yeah.
And she's just
Why?
suddenly, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's so hard to know what I do.
Same.
Oh God.
But yeah, I think that's our only lead.
That is our
essentially.
only lead, yeah.
So we head back down to that prison.
Okay, so you head in that direction. You're not invisibiling yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
was
when you get closer.
there enough? If we get close enough to the point where we were last time that we did invisibility, we could do it again. It would probably, especially if the doctor's in, it might probably be good not to be visible.
Okay.
So we do that.
You walk for about 10 minutes, heading, retracing your steps. You get to the large the circular stairwell big enough for 2.5 yaks. And heading down to the bottom of that, you see that it is collapsed. The bottom of it is caved in freshly. Since the time that you were here, less than 12 hours before, and now it has been collapsed.
Oh god.
God damn it. Okay.
We need to find another way down.
Collapsed so much that we couldn't get through it.
It has been filled in with rubble.
Okay.
Right,
It
we
is
need to find
quite
another
clear
way
that this isn't a random event.
Thunderwave.
Something has. You could try.
And the whole tunnel collapses, and we get buried to death.
And the end of the session. So we are going to play again tomorrow, and you're all just going to sit here, role-playing being dead, under the tunnel.
So basically, we arrive at the rubble, and I think Rasmorn just has the realization of like,
God damn it.
I think our prison friend 46972 probably talked to doctor and they know we're here.
God damn it.
Well, they wouldn't have sealed off all of the entrances, so we just have to find the one that goes down.
Maybe, maybe not.
Are you
Alright.
able to turn into something small and get through some cracks?
I investigate the rubble.
It's possible. Like if you
3.
go small enough, you can certainly attempt to. There's definitely areas where you could get in. It's not like it's been meticulously like a stone wall in Yorkshire. It's like it's just brought down and made sure that it goes up to the.
I mean, I could, but then
remaining
what?
ceiling.
Like, I'm on the other side, you guys are on this side.
There's just
I
all
could
of
go
this
investigate, but
There are also potentially other ways down, like you say, like this is an entire city of things. You could go back up, go try and find your way back up to find your way back down again.
Yeah.
All right, so turning around, heading back up into the city.
Abandoned.
Heading deeper into from the surface. It feels like it needs extra directions than just north-south because you've got ups and downs as well. Yeah. Yes.
I don't know how useful this would be, but I could cast Blink on myself, which the actual spell is. I don't know whether or not this is just in 2004 or the ring was slightly different than the spell. I have a minute essentially to look around.
Oh.
You start making your way deep to the mountain, essentially, so away from the tunnel entrance and deeper into the mountain. It opens up to this much larger hall, and it ends in a somewhat of a dead end with a large door. And you can tell that you're not alone in these streets.
you are hybrid, yes?
Yes.
Do you mind if I shed some light?
I thought you meant metaphorically. You're going to explain the situation.
Do you know the name Owen?
It's not a draconic name.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you one more time about the D&D live show that we've got coming up in case you missed it. Adventurers of Azerim, or as I like to call it, Paradin, and the fucking everyone's going to hate this.